This episode of the Guy Pod is brought to you by the Shops at Coldwater and Citadel Insurance Group, an Allstate agency. Citadel can take care of all of your insurance needs from auto and homeowners to boats and life insurance and everything in between. Call 256-826-5309 to speak to one of our trusted advisors to see if Citadel can get you in a better place on your insurance. Citadel Insurance Group is open Monday through Friday from 8 to 6. The Shops at Coldwater, one of a handful of retail incubators in Alabama, is the home to a highly curated gift shop and boutique located in beautiful, historic downtown Tuscumbia, Alabama. They specialize in gifts for everyone in the family, on-trend clothing for women and kids, and have a unique mix of snacks, including Glass Bottle Sundrop and Frios Gourmet Pops. Stop in at 109 East 6th Street in Tuscumbia and see what everyone's talking about. The Shops at Coldwater are open Tuesday through Saturday, 10-ish to 6-ish, and Sundays and Mondays when they feel like it. And now, here are your hosts of the Guy Pod, Josh Kelly, Skip Nichols, and Adam Gooch.
And welcome to the Guy Pod. I'm Skip Nichols.
Josh Kelly.
Adam Gooch.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
We are back.
How y'all doing?
It's been a little bit.
We're back and better than ever.
Always.
Absolutely.
Every day.
So I'm going to jump right in.
All right.
Do it.
I
Both
have
feet.
something that's pressing, and it's hurt me so bad not to start talking about it while we were sitting here kind of setting up, because I wanted to go ahead and start talking about it, and I couldn't because I wanted to kind of see y'all's reactions. So this weekend, college football kicked off, and last week, and got NFL. It's just like my favorite 2 weeks of the year almost, just because football's cranking back up, and I love football. I watch any kind of football that's on TV. And Saturday night, University of Texas, the Longhorns played LSU. LSU stomped them.
Yes.
And Matthew McConaughey was on the sidelines.
He was.
He was.
And so-
Professor.
He's
Yeah.
a professor
Matthew
there
McConaughey.
now, which is funny. And here's the thing. I like Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't?
I liked him. I liked Matthew McConaughey. So, he's on the sideline with the cowboy hat on, which is funny to me. And he's, marching around and this, that, and the other. They got him on video saying the F word, which is really funny there at the end. And I hope somebody makes a GIF of that.
Yeah.
Like, I need to see that in my life. But, so I was eating lunch with my buddy Ethan today, and after church, and we got talking about that. And we were laughing about how he said the F word on TV, and they called him, like, right when they said it. And he's like, dude, do you know he doesn't wear deodorant?
He doesn't. I didn't.
And I said, what? He said, no, like, seriously, like, he hasn't worn deodorant in, like, 15 years.
He's
I
like
was like,
all natural.
I was like, man, he's got to stink to high. He said he does. He said he takes, like, baths 3 or 4 times a day. Everybody that's worked with him said, like, they can't hardly be around him. So I got to Googling stuff about it because I was like, this, surely that, like, because, he's got to, if I have to put deodorant on sometimes twice a day,
Yep.
when it gets hot outside, like I haven't, it's been so long since I forgot to put deodorant on or didn't have deodorant on or something like that. But like, I could imagine like if I've been outside all day and it's about 5, 6 o'clock, I can,
Oh, you're right.
I can
yeah,
smell
yeah.
myself and I take regular baths and wear deodorant. Like I wear like extra strength deodorant. Like, and so like, this guy doesn't wear it at all. I can imagine how bad he smells. And so I got to Googling and stuff. And so there was a naughty scene that he did with Anne Hathaway. Mm-hmm. And she was like, he smelled so bad. She made him go take a bath right before the scene because she couldn't hardly stand to be around him because he smelled so bad.
Really?
What the crap?
That's kind of sad.
What's up with that?
His Lincoln probably stinks.
Yeah.
Like,
It's getting the leather.
All right.
Justin Timberlake, I bet he smells good.
For sure.
Justin Timberlake's got to wear deodorant.
Yeah.
I would think so.
He just looks like somebody that would smell good.
Yeah. Take care of himself.
And I thought Matthew McConaughey was that guy.
McConaughey's kind of got that vibe though. Like he's
kinda
he's
does.
known for sitting around like naked, playing his little bongo drums, and unkept hair, and that's kind of his vibe though.
I didn't know
You know,
that.
Yeah, kind of a hippie vibe.
He's hippie.
I don't
all
like
day.
that.
Yeah.
Hippies can wear deodorant.
Yeah, but they don't.
I don't know any
It's
hippies.
not natural. Like it's.
What's cool is a few miles north of here, right across the Tennessee line, is a hippie commune.
It is.
It's really neat.
Yeah. We had the opportunity to meet
Yeah, we met the guy who
yeah.
started
A
it. It was
year
over-
ago today.
Yeah.
Is it a year ago today?
Yeah,
was.
he did a TED Talk
He
in
did.
Florence, and we got to meet him. And I want to go up there. I don't want to live there,
I would love to go up
but I'd
there.
like to just go
We
up
need
there.
to do a Guy Pod field trip.
Field trip.
Kind of like going to the zoo.
Yeah.
That's what a good
I don't know.
example
That
was.
they, I don't know if
That's-
they would look at it that way.
No, probably
but
not.
But I mean, that's
Don't
the,
feed the animals.
that's the extent of me wanting to go there. Is like just going to look
Yeah,
around.
just
Is what
to
I
see
meant.
it,
Is what
yeah.
I meant. Like what I
Yeah.
would do at a.
I like air conditioning too much. I don't know that I'd do the whole commune thing
Oh man.
very well.
So speaking of that, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week is supposed to be the hottest 2 days of the entire year, and I have to go to this retreat at this place called Earl Trent. It's a Baptist camp out in the woods,
Yeah.
and I guarantee you they don't have any kind of air conditioning.
So you're going to be outside in the woods?
Outside in the woods all day Wednesday.
You got to like spend the night?
I got to spend the night Tuesday night, and all day Wednesday we're doing some kind of ropes course and team building stuff.
It's
with this
legit.
group
Too.
I'm
I've
in.
been out there.
And,
a cool place.
It is a cool place.
But I'm just like, it's gonna be hot.
it's
It
gonna be
is.
hot. Yes.
It's gonna be. It's already saying like 101, 102, and 101, 102 in Alabama. It's
Yeah.
not 101, 102 like in Arizona.
No,
It's a
no, it's very
115
humid.
and
I would
humid.
highly recommend that you take the tank spray.
Oh yeah, I need that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that. We got this new tank spray, Gooch.
Uh-huh.
Duke Cannon makes. We sell it at our boutique, and you spray it on down there, and it makes everything cool.
That's at the shops at coldwater.com.
Makes it
SHOPPES.
So it makes everything cool.
So like when wind hits it, it like makes it cool, like this sensation. It's like almost like when you powder it down there with like
Right.
some Gold Bond kind of.
Just a little tingle.
But it's
tingle.
a spray on. It's a
tank tingle.
spray on, and it makes it cool. Like
Keeps-
I sprayed it this morning,
Yeah.
and I just did a little wiggle just then, and I could feel it cool.
It stirs it back up. You know, I've been riding around in that convertible with no air, and it
Tingle.
makes a
Hey,
difference.
tell everybody about the convertible.
Okay, so yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I bought a midget.
Which, for the record, okay,
It's 43.
so
She's 43.
not being a car guy, I don't remember which one of you guys first told me, but the news was broke to me that Skip had bought a midget, and I didn't know that was a car.
So Adam thought I owned an Oompa Loompa or something.
I wasn't surprised really. I was just trying to figure out how one would go about buying a midget.
So I'm riding through Sheffield, and this midget's sitting on the side of the road for about a month.
Let me tell the story better than
I
this.
still see a midget
then
sitting
I'll-
on the side of the road.
So anytime we go anywhere, I drive. I don't know why that happens, but I drive. I don't know if it's a control thing for me or what, but like
It definitely is.
Yeah.
I just ended up driving. And so we're going for some reason for like 2 or 3 weeks, we drive down this certain road. And every time we drove past the midget, Skip said, "Man, that's a good looking midget. Like I really like that." Like, and he would make a comment on it. And about the 4th time I said, "Just buy it." He said, "Well, I don't need that." Well, like he started to say, "I don't need a car." And then he's like, "Well,
I don't not need the car.
you know." And so I whipped in there and
We looked at it. We looked at the midget.
we drove around it, which was really funny when we test drove it together.
We took the top down off the midget,
Yeah. Took the midget's top off, and both of you
We got in the
took a
midget
ride.
together.
and we took it for a ride.
Took a ride with the midget's
It's a
top off.
little tough to get into.
The brakes didn't work. The brakes didn't work. The midget wouldn't stop. Which that's a true story.
It really is.
So we hit the first stop sign and we just coasted right on through it. And I was like, "Okay,
It's
Skip."
like a California roll. We were just through it.
Skip said, "Well, the brakes don't work." I said, "Fantastic." I was like, "Well, good news is it won't go fast enough for us to get really bad hurt." But it's a cool car.
It really is. We
It is,
we pulled
yes.
it back up there, and I got a really good deal from the guy, and he redid the brakes for me and a couple other things, and I've been rolling around in it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, and it is absolutely the funnest car I've ever owned. And backstory on this car: when I was like 10 years old, there was this really hot teenage girl lived across the street from me.
Oh yeah.
And she drove a little car like this. It was a Triumph TR7, kind of the sister car to the MG midget,
Sister
wife, and so I thought that was just the coolest car in the world. And I thought when I turn 16, I'm going to buy me one of those little cars. And of course, I never did. I ended up driving like a 1984 Silverado and,
Yeah.
and a few other.
That's my favorite truck, by the way.
It was an awesome truck.
Yeah.
So
That's-
first of all, can I do a timeout?
Yeah.
That's my favorite vehicle of all time. That body style Silverado.
Well, let me ruin it for you. My dad bought a long wheelbase.
Oh,
I like those too, but I like the short wheelbase.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, I can't complain. I turned 16 in '85.
Oh, so you got a new truck.
I got a new truck. It was
Wow.
it was Dad's truck, but I kind of took it over. So
Man,
it
that's
was
cool.
awesome.
So I turned 16 in 1999.
Yep.
1999. Gucci and I were the same age. So turned 16 in 1999, and my first truck was a 1989 GMC S15 pickup truck. No power steering, vinyl floors, vinyl seats, had a heater, straight shift, metal headliner, work truck.
Yeah.
It didn't have a radio, it had a plate there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Had a vent, had 260 AC. You know what 260 AC
Oh
is?
yeah.
It's more of like a 245 AC. That was my first
That's
truck.
about what I got right now.
It was $3,800.
So my first car that I bought myself, 1987, brought it brand new off the lot, Nella Stevenson Chevrolet, S10 pickup truck. Vinyl floors, the whole nine. I think it was like $5,800 out the door. When you wash it, you just open the door and spray it
Spray it
inside.
out.
I mean,
Yeah. Who put carpet?
yeah,
in
you had
trucks?
to pay extra $160 to get the back bumper.
Nice.
So that was a thing. Yeah, it didn't come with a bumper.
Was it illegal to not have a bumper then?
I don't know. I don't
You
know.
can't not have one, right?
But, yeah,
I think it's
that
illegal to. You
as
have to
long
have
as
at
you
least
got
have a
tail
roll
lights. I mean, it's Alabama, dude.
I think it's illegal to not have something there now.
I don't know.
What was your first car, Gooch?
A 1994 Pontiac Trans Am Firebird.
Man, y'all were
Eastbound and down, dude.
were
Yeah.
upper middle class. JK,
Yeah.
we were poor. I had an old truck.
Hey, dude.
I had a 10-year-old truck.
I was the youngest of 8 kids. We weren't just poor. I mean, we was so poor we didn't have the last OR. We was po.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a nice car first one. Yeah, chrome
That's cool.
wheels.
That's
It was-
cool,
it was
man.
Nice.
That is cool.
I'm trying to think of the first vehicle I bought myself, which my dad did buy me that one, and then I saved up for the entire year. And he told me, because I was like, man, I got to have air conditioner. Dad, I need AC. And he told me to sell the truck if I saved up at least $2,000 to go with it and upgrade me. And I drove that for a year, and I went down a year, but went up a truck.
Yeah.
Then I got a 1988 Ford Ranger extended cab,
Sweet.
V6 automatic.
Oh, yeah.
And it was silver and had a blue interior. But that AC blew cold, man.
You know, for like $1,000, you could have added AC to the other one.
Yeah, I didn't. I had a CB in it. Did put a
Oh.
CB in a stereo. I put a CD player. I had a Sony Explode in it. Don't get it twisted.
So let me tell you about the car I took my driver's test in. 1977, 4-door, cream color Buick LeSabre, big tank.
What'd you take your test in?
My mom had a 99 Accord.
1997 Chevy Corsica.
Ah,
I got in the car. I got a cool story about the driver's test. I didn't really even take one. I got in the car, and there was tons of people there that day. He said, I need to get something out of my truck. The guy was stressed out. I pulled over there to his truck. He got out, got something out, and he looked at me and said, man, you can drive, can't you? I said, man, I've been driving her since I took over the steering wheel. He said, all right, pull back over in that parking spot. That was the extent of it.
wow.
Things are a little different in Tennessee.
Yes, that was not my experience.
Yeah, it was easy.
So like the other car that I kind of wanted in my high school years was a Nissan 300ZX. That would have been a cool car. There.
Yeah.
It's a cool car.
The sad part is I can buy those now for about $500.
You can, yeah.
It's
My
scary.
senior year, I got the car I wanted. So I joined the Army when I was 17 and went to basic between my junior and senior year. And my dad sold my truck for me while I was gone. So that's when Fast and the Furious came out. So I graduated high school in 01. So 99, 2000, 01, along through there, Fast and Furious came out like around my 11th grade year.
Yep.
And so those cars were like super rad. And so I wanted a 5-speed Nissan Altima. That's what I wanted. I wanted a straight shift Nissan Altima. And
I didn't even know they made those.
yeah, I had one. And so Dad sold my truck for me while I was gone, and he had access to my checking account, and like we went back and forth when I would get to call home on Sundays, and he found me a 93. It was like a metallic baby blue Maxima with a 5-speed, and he bought it while I was gone. I mean, I bought it, but
Yeah.
and then had it ready when I got back. And of course, I did the fading tint on it where it went chrome to black. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I saved up, put some of these gray looking racing wheels on it. It was awesome.
Big
It would-
bite.
Oh yeah, it didn't
bite,
go
huh?
super fast, but I didn't care about that. I just wanted it to sound like
Yeah.
it went fast, and
Yeah.
it looked cool.
Like a mad bumblebee.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I've just never been a car guy, to be honest.
I'm a car.
I was
nut.
never, I've had some cars I've liked before, like, growing up, of course, we were the Saved by the Bell era, right? So, like, if I was going to pick, like, my favorite car, like, if I could pick one, I would go 66 Mustang GT convertible.
Which are pretty.
Candy apple red,
Unpopular opinion. I've never really liked Mustangs.
See, I just like the 66 convertible.
They're pretty.
Like,
Pretty cars.
Yeah.
I got a '66 Mustang story.
Do you?
Yeah. So I'm 15 years old.
When they came out.
Yeah. My very best friend in high school, Randy Sill. If you're listening, we're about to talk about Baby Blue. Okay, so he had a '66 Mustang, and he got his driver's license before any of our friend groups. So he was the chauffeur.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere. So we're headed from Russellville to a Deschler basketball game, and we top the hill and coming out of Russellville into Littleville, right there where the package stores are at the county line. We're doing about 80, 85 miles an hour, and this Littleville cop we know he's got us. So the cop hits his blue lights before he even turns. When he meets us, he hits the blue lights. He hits those blue lights, and I'm like, kick it, Randy, kick it. So he floored it. Hangs a right to trying to get to where his uncle was building a house where we could get in the garage and kind of hide. Randy, if you're out there, I'm telling your stories. Sorry. So we bypass the house because we're going too fast. We end up, we top this hill, we go off into this little dirt road and try to hide. Cop goes flying by. We think we're in the clear. Little did we know that around that curve, once you get around that curve, you can see like for 75 miles. And he knew we were not there. So he turns back around and pulls right in and gets us. So I'm 15, no driver's license. He stops and gets us, points at me and says, "You, follow me back to the station." So, 15, I'm driving my best friend's 66 Mustang back
Yes,
to the station in Littleville. And we get in there, and sadly enough, one of our other friends from high school is the dispatcher and also the person that takes the booking photos. So he takes this picture of my best friend and gets him giggled while he's taking the picture. So he's smiling in the mugshot. When his mom comes to get him sees the mugshot and he's smiling, we all got our butts handed to us.
Oh,
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So
First time I ever drove a Mustang, I was 15 years old, and a cop told me I had to.
wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is,
That's pretty
Did
cool.
the cop ever know you were 15? Like,
Oh, yeah, I told it. I said, I don't have a driver's license. I don't care.
This joker's not driving it, so get behind the
Yeah,
wheel.
and we did not make the basketball game that night.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting next few days.
I would have liked to have
at
seen a
school.
15-year-old skip mugshot, though. That would have been fun.
No, I did not get arrested that time.
I just picture him with that part that goes right down the middle.
Oh,
of
the
your head.
70, the 80s butt cut?
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. I had
Yeah.
the 80s butt cut with the half mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
that's
rocking it.
fantastic.
The Sean Cassidy.
I've had so many cars. Like my wedding band is a car tire. Like I had, it's legit. It's a car tire. I had it carved out of white gold. Like I've had so many cars. Like I don't even know how many I've owned. Like personally, I used to have a car lot, so had a lot through there. But like personally, like I would trade every 2 or 3 months, and probably I'm gonna say I can't narrow it down to one. I would say probably one of my favorite cars ever, and I wish I still had it. I had a 2007 Dodge Magnum RT, had the Hemi, and it was flat black.
That stupid station wagon. I remember that.
It's a cool, man, this car.
I was with you. I thought it was rad.
It was rad, but it was
it-
also kind of weird.
I looked like a dope boy, though. I
you
looked
did.
like a drug
You
dealer.
did.
You look like you were a mule.
But that was a cool car. That was a fun car. I've had several Corvettes, and they're fun, but they're so not practical to drive every day.
They're not, and they rattle you to death.
I like those. I had a Chevy SSR truck. If you remember those, they looked like little Corvette trucks and had the automatic top that came off, and it was bright yellow, and it was awesome. But like everybody knew where I was, when I was, how I was, what I was, and I wasn't doing
like
anything
there
wrong.
goes Josh
It was, oh, hey, I saw you at the dollar store. Hey, I saw you
in your banana truck.
and but I had a like a kind of a silvery beige H1 Hummer one time, and it had like
I had a Hummer once.
It had like a maroon interior. It was really cool. It worked. That was a cool truck.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a $80,000 truck,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I ended up selling it real quick. But like that was probably that's probably my top three.
So the H1 had a different drive mechanism for each wheel, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what all it's legit military equipment.
Oh, yeah.
But it had leather interior in it and everything, but it was like driving a freaking tank, man.
You kind of thought you were like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like but there again, it's still very not very practical because like you had to park it in the parking lot because it wouldn't fit in the parking spot and
Right.
everything else. But it was cool.
Yeah.
Cool thing about this midget is I can park it in my pocket.
Well, you could like put it in the back of my truck.
Yeah. I thought I was going to have to. You know, I went up to Huntsville to the British Car Show the other night, and things started flooding out going over the bridge in Decatur. And I thought, this is great. I'm going to be stranded right there in the middle of the bridge in Decatur.
Oh, gosh.
And but cool thing is, I have many of you know we own Allstate Agency, and I have Haggerty Insurance, it's a classic car company, and they will tow me practically anywhere for free. So I definitely added that on there because I wasn't sure I was making it Tuesday night, and I finally made it back. It was interesting.
You know, that car would be the little midget would be fun to go like to a drive-in.
Yeah, it would.
With it. We actually have a drive-in south of here in Russellville. I've never been to a drive-in movie theater.
I've been one time.
I need to go.
My step family, actually, my grandmother's second husband, actually, his family started that drive-in.
That's
It's
cool.
a pretty cool place.
It is a neat place.
And a friend of mine runs it now. Him and his dad, they own it.
There's a culture, though. Like, you got to know how to drive in.
Oh yeah,
You don't just go.
no.
You have to know how.
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't understand. Tell
Like,
me, I've never
we
been.
went
so.
and it was like, okay, let's take some towels. There's people that roll out with lawn chairs, like tiered levels.
Oh, yeah.
Coolers,
Really?
like big radios, like
So you can do all of
Yeah,
that.
because it's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
updated now. Because you don't like hang the speaker on your window.
Okay.
It's all FM. They got a local FM transmitter.
yep. Turn your radio.
So
to
here's
it.
the deal: if you tune your car radio into it, by the time the second feature's over,
Car's dead.
your car's dead. But they do have a jump box, and they do it all the time. They come around and jump people all night long. But pro tip, if you're going to the King Drive-In in Russellville, which is the closest one to us, shout out to Greg Greenhill and family, take a boom box, take something that will pick up
Oh, that's cool.
that
Yeah.
because you'll want it out in the back of the pickup truck or wherever
Yep.
you sit.
So I could put like a love seat in the back of my
Absolutely.
truck.
For sure.
Yeah,
Like a
that's a thing.
mattress.
That's a thing.
Oh yeah, they do it every week.
Once it's not like scorching, blistering hot,
Yep.
I'm gonna go just so I can go.
And
it's cheap.
It's super cheap. It's like $6 a head. Like kids are like $3
For two
kids.
full
Kids
length.
under 5, they're
Can you
free.
get a corn dog there?
Listen, they have got the best food, and it's cheap.
It is.
Can you get a corn dog?
The barbecue, corn dog, nachos, cheeseburgers.
I want to go right now.
Super, super cheap.
What?
We need to do a guy pod field trip.
Here's the thing.
Hey, Guy Pod, field trip.
I do not like corn dogs at my house. Like, we buy a box of corn dogs and cook them, but like at a fair,
Corn
or a
dogs are
place like
exterior
that,
food.
I'm in on a corn dog. I
All day
cannot
long.
go to a fair, like a county fair, without buying a corn dog from an Eastern European man.
Yeah.
Like
You,
that's
you got to have a
I
corn
have
dog.
to.
Mustard? Are you mustard
no,
or ketchup?
No, I go mustard down one side, ketchup down the other.
I'm a mustard purist.
I go down both sides.
I'm mustard only.
One on each side. Speaking of mustard only, so I was in Chicago one time, and I was at Wrigley Field, and Adam just got back from Chicago actually, and I was like, okay, that's a bucket list thing. I got to eat a hot dog here, and I asked for some ketchup.
I
And
bet you
it was
got
like-
looked at.
It was like the sound when you take a record. I was like, and they're like, dude. Some guy said, dude, they don't do ketchup. I was like, wow. He's like, no, you don't ask for that.
Yeah.
And he said, just put some mustard on it. I said, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah, there was a little dude on the hot dog stand down in Birmingham, and it was like just a single file row. You go in, it's kind of like the soup Nazi. If you ordered ketchup, he sent you home.
No dog for you.
That's
So,
fantastic.
total side note here, but do I understand correctly that you are pro Giordano's and not Lou Malnati?
Yes, I am. Now, I've had each of them one time, so maybe
Okay.
maybe Lou
So-
had a bad night.
So we're going to set a timeout here. So there's the big argument in Chicago. Maybe people in Chicago don't argue about this, but
People in
tourists,
Alabama do.
tourists going
Yes.
to Chicago, it's Lou Malnati's or Giordano's. They're two pizza places.
Yep.
And I'm a huge fan of Lou Malnati's. I've had Giordano's.
Yeah.
It was good,
Yeah.
but I like Lou Malnati's better.
Yeah.
And so Adam just went to both,
Yep.
and
We were Giordano's all the way. It was
So what's the game changer for you?
I think of course they're both like if you've never seen a true Chicago deep dish pizza, they're 5 inches thick.
it's a casserole.
It's
Yeah.
a like
It's a
they're
pie.
huge. So like we ordered a small, me and Brittany together, and we ate half of it.
Yeah.
You know. So like the Lou's, like the crust was like crunchy hard, wasn't soft. Like you couldn't like you were. The twins have braces; they couldn't even eat the crust. Like couldn't even bite it
Oh, wow.
because it was like so crunchy. I just
Maybe
they
it's
had
a
a
bad
lot
night.
more. So
Maybe
I'm not
bad
a
night with
I'm
it.
not a tomatoes guy. Like I like tomato based things. So I love ketchup, love like marinara sauce, but I don't like tomatoes. And like on top of their sauce was like huge, like
Like chunks.
yeah, like you took the chunk tomato off and like all the sauce was gone.
Oh.
You know, so I didn't like that.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Giordano's was just the downside, and I guess it maybe again it's just different. They got multiple locations, so they don't have like one of each of these in Chicago. They've got multiple locations, so maybe one's better than the other, this and that. But once we got in the restaurant, seated immediately at Giordano's, I'm like, okay, this is a good night. It was crowded, but it wasn't crazy crowded for like the third largest city in the country, right?
Yeah.
Ordered the pizza. The waiter came back and was like, sorry, we're looking at an hour wait on the pizza, which I'd been warned, like, okay, it takes a little bit of time.
There's
Like,
a lot
they're
of cooking
thicker,
goes into that, yeah.
They're not a little thin crust. It cooks. I'm like, okay, that's fine. An hour and a half later, we're still like, did you forget me? And finally, about an hour and a half, he brought it out and was like, I'm sorry. It took late. So we had an hour and a half for a pizza.
Jeez.
So that was interesting, but it was amazing. So,
So you're a Giordano's guy.
oh yeah, for sure. Like I want to order. They'll ship them to your house.
Yeah, they will.
So in other news, we're looking for a new co-host for the Guy Pod.
Hey. Yeah, I'm Team G, man.
I mean, it's good food. I mean,
It
it's
is.
good.
It
it's good.
is.
It is like
It's good.
I
there's
think
lots of good
you
food.
got into a bad deal
It's
at
possible.
Lou Malnati's because their crust is not normally.
Yeah, it was so
way.
hard, and then like I said, it's hard, and then that was my two big no-nos. I didn't like
what
the
she said.
crust,
Yeah.
and the sauce was like, it was chunked tomatoes. So I'm out.
Well, I'm still hung up on the corn dogs at the movie theater.
When are we going to the drive-in? That's what I want.
Well, hey, we were talking earlier. So Adam's got my oldest daughter and Adam's twin sons are the same age. They're in 6th grade. They're all 11. And he was saying, it was almost kind of like let down a little bit because I'll let you tell the story about what you just told me.
Well,
before
for all the parents listening out there, and if you're not, like one day you will be, like you try to you think that like you're teaching your kids, and there's some things that they just get by watching, but like every now and then something will hit you in the face. It's like, I thought I'd like taught you better, but like I failed. And so I was talking to the twins and they were talking about this new movie coming out called Top Gun. And like Maverick, and I was like, well, that's actually an old movie, and like they had no idea. Like, what's Top Gun?
This is the sequel.
Yeah, and I'm like, what do you mean?
Of course,
Like,
30-something years later, but still.
Yeah, and so I couldn't believe it, and so I actually after church today, they had homework. I had a wedding this afternoon, had to be at, and they had homework assigned by Dad that they had to watch Top Gun.
It's a great
so-
movie.
Yeah.
I spent the summer of '86 watched that movie 6 times at the theater. And at this point, I had received an appointment to the Naval Academy, so I was all about the Navy.
Hey, oh yeah,
And ended up turning it down, going to UNA. I'm an idiot
Roar Lions.
because I did not want to shave my head. And now, for those of you that know me, you know I've got this solar panel on the back of my head. So crazy. But arguably my second favorite movie of all time, and I paid to see it 6 times in the
Yeah.
theater. Of course, it's only $5 a pop back then, but still.
That was like back in the day, man. Those '80s movie, like even in some maybe early '90s, like you would go to the theater multiple times to see a movie, and then it would come out on VHS. You would buy the VHS and you would watch
absolutely.
the movie 10 times.
I can honestly remember never going to a movie theater until I was like junior high school. We just didn't, we didn't. I remember like we would rent movies,
Right.
but we'd also have to rent a VCR. Like we didn't own a VCR when
Gotcha.
I was little.
Yep.
And then I remember occasionally like we got to rent a Nintendo.
Yeah.
For side note, for those of you out there listening that are under, 20, renting a movie and a VCR is when you go to an establishment that actually has lots of movies on the wall, and you pick one out,
Yeah.
and you pick out the VCR, and you take that home with you, and then a day or two later you bring all of it back, kind of like what Netflix has become, where you can just press a button and get a movie
Yes,
at
had to
any
go
time.
somewhere.
You actually had to go somewhere and do something to
And there was
actually see the
nothing
movie.
worse than walking up and like spotting the movie that you wanted, the case,
Oh yeah,
and then-
nothing behind
and then
it.
there was nothing behind it.
Oh,
That
so
was such a
sad.
heartbreak.
Do you remember the? Did you ever sneak into the room in the back of the movie the
The-
movie gallery?
Yeah.
That
yeah.
room,
You were
the
sneaking there.
Oh yeah.
room-
Yeah.
They didn't have those in Russell,
They
Alabama.
didn't have them.
No.
Yeah.
They had
been
them.
there.
They had them. Yeah, I'd sneak in there. But I don't remember going to the movies when I was little. Of course, where I lived, the closest movie theater was hour 15 minutes away, so it wasn't like you just go to town and see one. But
Yep.
I'm sure I went to one when I was little. But the first movie I can remember going to is like Titanic for some weird reason.
The first movie
It
I
was like
remember
8 hours long.
the first movie I remember going to was at the Roxy Theater in Russellville, Alabama. And it was Song of the South. I stand up in my little chair, 3-year-old Skip stands up and says, "Change the channel," at the top of my voice.
That's
So-
fantastic.
So it must not have been a very good movie. A few weeks later, my sister takes me back to see Mary Poppins. And so, again, 3-year-old Skip climbs Dad's antenna tower, goes over to the other side of the house, jumps off the house with an umbrella, thinks he can fly.
That's awesome.
It does not work.
No, it doesn't.
It does
Yeah.
not work.
First of all, who takes a 3-year-old to a movie theater?
Well,
Not Josh Kelly.
Yeah.
my sister liked to think that I was her own personal birth control. She set me between her and her dates.
Okay,
So, no.
that works.
Yeah.
First movie I saw, I had to look up the date, so I'd remember. 1991, Ernest Scared Stupid.
I love it.
That is.
Know
I
what I-
remember
know what I mean, Vern?
we had Pee Wee football we were playing, and after we had finished up practice, a bunch of the moms got all the kids together, and we all went to the theater and watched Ernest Scared Stupid.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
a great movie.
The last movie I saw at that little theater down in Russellville that I should never have been. They should have. They should have sent me home. I went with a cousin of mine. She took me to see Car Wash in 1976.
That's a great
I'm like
movie.
7 years old, going.
Googly eyed.
I don't know what those words mean.
Googly eyed.
That's
A
fantastic.
great movie. If you go back and watch it later, it makes a lot of. I mean, it's funny.
You know, there's so many movies. I was thinking about the Top Gun and how they're doing the sequel to it. You know, in general, people have like these. It's popular to be like, oh, sequels suck. Like Nickelback sucks. I kind of like Nickelback.
I have one of their albums.
You know, and you know, things like that. It's just kind of popular and funny to say Nickelback sucks and
Yeah.
things like that. But like, there are some good sequels.
There are, but there are also some horrible sequels.
There's some horrible ones, but there are some times when the sequel is better than the first movie.
That's true.
It's
Ted-
happened.
Ted 2. Now, here's the thing. Ted 2 is not a family-friendly movie.
No.
If you're a kid, listen to this, and
Please turn the podcast off.
I am very proud that you can listen to our podcast in the car with your kids,
Absolutely.
because there's nothing you can nowadays in
Right.
2019 where you can actually listen to something with your kids without having a bunch of nasty words and stuff like that. Kids, do not listen to
We
Ted
work
2.
hard for that, by the
Do,
way.
do not
It's a lot of self control.
do not watch Ted 2 because it is a nasty movie.
No.
Yes.
But it's really funny.
It is.
It is. It is far superior than the original.
Absolutely. I've got some more. Then some of these may be unpopular. This is the list according to Josh.
All right.
Go for it.
X-Men 2.
X2 was better. I, agree
I like
with
it
that.
better than the first one.
I will agree with that.
I like Shrek 2 better than Shrek 1, the first Shrek.
Ah, see, no, I can't go there.
I'm a
I like Shrek 2 better.
I'm a Shrek 3 guy.
I didn't say Shrek 3. That's a different podcast, Skip. We're talking about the sequels.
Well, Shrek 3 is technically a sequel, but I like it better than any of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of
What
course, you
about-
know, Shrek 5, they have that on DVD in Area 51, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Probably. All right, Gooch. Toy Story 2 is better than Toy Story 1. It is. It's a fact.
Again, I wouldn't argue that. Jesse's a good character.
I'm going to be honest with you. The last Toy Story, which one was it that just
4.
came out? Toy Story 4?
I cried like a
It
baby
got
at
me in my
3 and
feelings.
4.
It got me in my feelings there at the end. I'm not going to spoiler alert, but like at the end,
Yeah.
I was choked up.
Yeah.
And my wife was laughing at me.
I took my 21-year-old kid to see it. Of course, we'd seen all of them together in the movie theater, and we were both like 2-year-old kids crying in
Yeah.
the seats.
Oh, it got me.
It's a tearjerker.
All right, here's another one. The Dark Knight. It's the sequel to Batman Begins, technically.
Like, I would not disagree with that. But if you're giving like The Dark Knight an 8.5, like Batman Begins has got to be like 8.3.
I mean, I like Batman Begins.
Yeah,
But I
that's
think
like,
The Dark Knight's better.
thank you to Heath Ledger.
I'm old school. We've talked about this before. I like Michael Keaton as Batman.
We're not talking about that one.
But
This is the sequel. The Dark Knight is the sequel to Batman Begins.
you probably like Ben Affleck as Batman.
No,
No,
nobody likes Ben Affleck as Batman.
no, yeah, I don't think so.
All right, what about this one? The Godfather 2.
Yes, for
It's,
sure.
it's a fact. It's better.
I think it was 3 that actually won Best Picture, wasn't it?
I think so.
Godfather 2 is the best.
It
It is. It's proven. It's
Proven?
proven fact. It's scientific.
proven.
It's proven fact.
You got more?
Cite your sources, brother. Cite your sources.
Josh Kelly, I have a permit.
I do too.
So, funny side note, we've got electric scooters, adult-sized electric scooters that we ride all over downtown Tuscumbia just because we can.
And it's fun.
Rednecks, basically, we're rednecks with money, and so we're riding around. People always think it's funny. Like, you got a permit for that or whatever? So we made us permits.
We have them.
Like they're legit, made out of the same thing like a driver's license looks like. They have watermarks on them, and it says "I do what I want." It's got our pictures. It says "Free American," and it's authorized. It's got Donald Trump's signature on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had the presidential seal on it, and the company sent it back. Says it's illegal to print that. Take that off.
They like shut him down.
So
So the takeaway from this is that for $11 on the interwebs,
you can get a permit.
you can get a permit for whatever you want to do.
I had to Photoshop the pictures like what I wanted, but I
Yeah.
mean that took 5 minutes. But no, that's my list of movies that are the sequel's better than the first. one.
So you know, I said that my second favorite movie was Top Gun.
Yeah.
What's your first favorite movie?
First favorite movie,
Is that a thing? First favorite movie, or would just be favorite movie?
favorite movie
Okay.
of all time, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I mean, I like that movie.
I love that movie. I'm with you. I love that movie.
It's not my
But
favorite of all time.
Tim Burton's remake
I'm out.
was like a crack / meth experience.
Absolutely, I'm out.
I'm
And
not
I
sure.
love Johnny Depp.
I'm a Johnny
but
Depp
I'm
fan.
out.
But when they started like CGI and Deep Roy as 7,500 different Oompa Loompas all at the same time,
His name's Deep Roy.
Deep Roy,
That makes me mildly uncomfortable that that's
yeah,
his
that's
name.
his name. Well, it's his stage name. He's Indian and his last name's Roy. So, but Deep Roy is his stage name.
Wow.
And I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
You know, they brought the dad back, and I understand it. I mean, I understand that the original movie, Charlie and the Chocolate, or the original book by Roald Dahl, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I understand why they switched the name. But I mean, and maybe I don't know, maybe the effects are okay.
Yeah.
But there's just something about Gene Wilder's crazy hair,
Yep.
$1 million budget from the Quaker Oats Company, and those 5 little kids
Yeah.
acting their little hearts out and never doing anything else.
Yep.
It just, I mean, it
I'll have to go.
resonates.
I
with
got to
me.
go watch it. I've never seen it.
Well, I have the entire
I'm just
movie.
kidding. I'm just
I have
messing.
the entire movie hanging in my office.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
I have a
Yeah, I'm with
print that is every frame of the movie laid over each other. That's how big a fan I am of Willy Wonka, and how big a not a fan I am of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I don't know if I can put my finger on my favorite movie. I don't know. I mean, there's so many movies like I don't know. I can't. Oh boy, what have I done? Knocked my microphone flying. Sorry, fellas.
The mic's falling.
Sorry, guys.
He dropped the mic.
Now it's running
Whoa,
away from
now
you.
it's- what the crap? So
Tighten that thing down.
Like Blade. I've seen Blade. I've seen the Blade trilogy thousands of times. Thousands of
That's
times.
like your repeat movie, right? It's like,
The Bourne movies.
Yep.
Some of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, I can watch those movies anytime, any day
not
of the
the
week.
Bourne Legacy though.
All of them. I like all of
not,
them.
Not the Legacy, not the one with.
I like that one too. With
not the one with Hawkeye.
I
No.
like that one too. And I don't really like Matt Damon. I think he's a weirdo. But I love the Bourne movies. Now, my wife, when she watches a movie,
She's
it's like
out.
a spent round, man. It's
Yeah.
dead. She's done.
She's not reloading.
Nope. It's over with. I've seen that. I thought, well, great, just watch it again. You know,
Yeah.
I'll watch movies if I like it thousands of times. I will say the movie that I've been to that I went, like when you went and watched Top Gun 6 times.
Yeah.
When the movie 300 came out.
Oh, yeah.
I went to theater and watched that 7 or 8 times.
That affected you too, didn't it?
It did.
You did some things.
Well, so at the time, my wife's little brother, my little brother-in-law Josh, was living with us. And he was, I don't know, 13, 14. So he was a lot of fun. Like we played Gears of War every day after he got home from school, and like it was pretty cool. And kind of brought me up to college, like having a roommate. And so like when that movie came out, we went and watched it, and it was just like, man, we got swords, and I drank out of a bowl. Like it was so bad, like to the point where like I drank out bowls, and like I started working out, and when I realized it was a problem. And so at the time I owned a car wash over in Florence, a full service car wash, Tidy Car, and especially where Skip and I met. And so all the guys there, we all, after I realized how awesome it was like everybody's coming with me, and I took everybody to the movies and we watched it, and like we would like nobody, the cars were there, we'd be sword fighting and like in the back of the building, and like I cut myself.
with like fake swords, right?
No, I went and bought swords.
Okay.
No, I went and
Just
bought real
clarifying.
swords. No, they were real swords.
Okay.
And they were like the legit Spartan swords. We had shields. It was, we had a target where we threw spears, but I cut myself, and somebody said, cauterize it. Because, I mean, that's what Leonidas would have done.
Yeah, he
He
would've.
didn't have Band-Aids.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, anyways, I had to go to the hospital. Like, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Because, like, I heated up, like, this piece of steel that I found on the ground and, like, tried to cauterize the wound. And, like, so
2 weeks later, he had tetanus and lockjaw.
So it was lots of shots and stuff. And then I was like, okay, I need to slow down. But I did go see that movie several times. That's the only time I can ever remember going to a movie theater that I know of and seeing something multiple times. But those were good. I don't know, man. I can't nail it. I can't nail say, hey, Happy Gilmore. I bet I've watched Happy Gilmore a bazillion times.
Oh, that's the best. That's one of the best movies ever.
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Stuff I've seen multiple. All the Blade movies,
You know,
the Bourne movies.
for those of you out there in Guy Pod land, I am considerably older than my compadres here. So I came.
Skip's going to be 50 in 2 days.
I am. So I came up in the '80s era of movies, and that is kind of like my wheelhouse.
We did too. Me and
Well-
Goose did too. We were just younger than you.
Right.
Yeah.
You were adult.
Yeah.
then.
I was. You know, I was buying groceries.
You were on
and
your second
paying
marriage.
mortgages and all that kind of stuff. But some of the movies in the '80s that they have tried to remake have like broken my heart.
Yes.
Like Footloose.
Yep.
I mean, I know Josh is
Never seen it.
such a huge fan of Kevin
Never
Bacon,
seen it. I hate
Loves
Kevin Bacon. I hate Kevin Bacon.
but for
Hate him.
for,
I like Cancer better than I like Kevin Bacon.
for anyone to think that they can come back and do a Footloose remake
Yeah.
with Zac freaking Efron
Yeah.
in the Ren
I like Zac Efron.
character
What's
is
his name? Ren?
Ren.
That's my daughter's middle name.
Well, yeah, I know that.
It's because Tasha liked Footloose. You just didn't know.
I came up with it.
No, you didn't.
No,
you,
you
you,
didn't.
you were just led to believe that.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something.
No,
Can we
you
do a
didn't.
side note?
Yeah.
And you pick this back up.
Sure.
So I'm a father of 3 daughters. I have 3 girls.
Go ahead and
Right.
say it.
Huh?
Go ahead and say it.
Oh, I tell everybody I'm a minority in a sorority.
That tickles the heck out of Ashley.
So I have 3 daughters, and so one of the biggest things that I'm probably more conscious of than anything is how I conduct myself, how I treat their mom, how I treat them, how I treat other people, how I do business, because everything.
Except for the mullet.
Yeah, well, I'm growing a mullet right now, which is amazing. But everything that I do is like kind of they're looking at me. This is what a man's supposed to be like. This is what they're going to look for. That kind of stuff. So I'm like, hey, listen, my girls are going to be strong, independent women. They already are. They're little, but they're they're going to be. But also too, I'm like, hey, listen, you can manipulate guys.
Oh yeah.
We'll do anything you want us to do.
Yes.
Anything you tell us to do, or vice versa. So I actually told a story today. So Sydney my oldest likes to do crafts and stuff. She likes to paint. She's very artsy, plays piano, all that kind of stuff. Well, she got these little beads to make bracelets. She can spell things out of it. So, Damon and Stephanie Williamson's son, Kanan, is in her class.
Okay.
Goes to church with us.
Yep.
And so Kanan's a great kid, real smart kid. I mean, just a good boy. And somehow or another, he got the nickname of Squishy. I have no idea. And everybody thinks it's funny. Cindy calls him that because it's funny. He probably doesn't like it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to nickname him Squishy. He's a little bit skinny boy too, so it's not like he's chubby. So he's not making fun of him.
Well, that's my
And-
rap name, Old Squeezy.
Oh, Squeezy. and so Sydney thought it would be funny to make him a bracelet that said Squishy. She's like, he won't wear it. I said, Sydney, listen,
Yep.
all you have to do is look at him and say, hey, Kanan, I think this would look good on you. You should wear it. I said, he'll wear it. He'll never take it off.
He'll never take it.
He'll never take it off. I said, all you,
That's true.
and my daughters are very pretty. And I said,
They
look,
get it from their mom.
that's a fact. It's the best sales job I ever did. But I said, all you got to do is look at him and say, hey, listen, I think this would look nice on you. You need to wear this. And she did, and he did.
Yeah.
He did. I
That's
think
the power.
he after about 3 or 4 days, she was like, what happened to the bracelet? And because she thought it was funny, she's like, every day she said, Daddy's still wearing it. And everybody's making fun of him. I was like, I told you. She's like, I didn't realize y'all would do that. I said, no, we'll do anything you tell us to do. And he said he lost it. He didn't lose that
He
bracelet.
didn't lose it.
No, he didn't
No, he
lose it.
didn't lose
No.
it.
I told his dad about it today at church. He thought it was funny.
That's fine.
I said, I'm teaching my daughters to manipulate your son. but my point to that is you're right. We were very simple creatures, and women can get us to do anything they want us to do.
So you.
It's all right, time in.
Ren.
Okay, time
Man.
in. Unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I'm about to probably run off 75% of the Guy Pod listeners, especially their wives.
So keep in mind, Skip is only 33% of the guy pod, so
Yes.
don't hold it against me and Gooch unless we agree.
Disney live action remakes. Not a fan.
I love them.
Yeah, I'm in.
I love them.
I'm in.
Not a fan.
I love them.
I'm like, Disney, you're a cartoon dude.
No, they're not.
Yes.
So you don't like Star Wars?
That's not
It's
Disney.
Yes, it is.
It's owned by
Good.
Disney.
Same.
Ah,
Same.
I'm like, what's wrong with the cartoons?
It's new. I'm excited about the Frozen remake.
So well, okay, the cartoons I like,
No, they're doing a live action.
but the live action stuff I don't.
Man, Aladdin?
But okay, what next? We got like Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner live action.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
oh, I got it.
What?
This might be changing the subject, but we're talking about sequels. A movie that needs a sequel
Bring it.
is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
Wow.
Because you said, but like, imagine what we could do with Who Framed Roger Rabbit with today's technology.
Yes. Let me tell you about Bob Hoskins acting in that
Yes.
movie.
Come on.
I mean,
Oh, that's amazing.
he was staring at things that weren't there,
Yeah.
and it was believable.
Yeah.
I
Man,
mean,
Jessica Rabbit.
oh, I don't know if y'all have
Is that
seen.
considered anime?
No.
No.
Okay.
Anime is Japanese animation where they like throw
I know.
squids
I get it,
and
but I'm
stuff
just
on you.
saying.
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a CNN documentary series, the movies by the decade.
Okay.
If you've not watched it, I highly recommend it. They've got two different series. They've got just a series about each decade, 60s all the way to 2000s, and then they've got a series about the movies. They're available on like Amazon Prime, YouTube Live, different venues. You can go back and get them on demand, different stuff. But they talked an awful lot about that Jessica Rabbit, the limited special effects that they had available to combine animation with live action.
That was cutting edge.
And I'm telling you, Bob Hoskins
Yep.
is the best actor of that era.
I agree.
Simply because of that.
Yep.
I will fight you in the street over that.
I didn't know that was what his name was.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the only thing I know him from is
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, and
Rest in
Mermaids.
peace.
Mermaids
So,
was
yeah.
a good one.
Yeah. So he's gone. He's not with us anymore.
No.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what a Who Framed Roger Rabbit
Man.
reboot would be like without him. But man,
That's a
like,
great movie.
And they
That needs a sequel.
they
Remember
combine
Alf?
so
Remember Alf?
many.
Remember Alf?
Yes.
Alf. Yep. Can't believe that hadn't been remade.
Yeah.
Oh, what was
I
the
think
movie
it's
with
coming.
the duck from outer space? Howard the
Howard
Duck.
the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
So Howard the Duck was on TV a few months ago, and I was so excited. And I hit the record button. I was going to sit down with my kids, like the Top Gun moment.
Oh, yeah.
So let's watch Howard the Duck. 3 minutes in,
Yeah,
they're dropping F-bombs.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's-
what?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
forgot
remember
about all that.
Yeah,
I don't
that's not
remember
a-
this.
yeah.
And so, what's that mean, Daddy? I said,
So you know who Alf was patterned after, right?
no.
Ronald Reagan.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either, but I
Yeah,
can
the
see
hairdo
that.
and everything.
I can see
yeah.
it.
That's cool.
So, super side note. I used to run a shoe store called Tom McCann Shoes. Doesn't exist now. And we had these.
So basically, you're Al Bundy.
I am.
Okay.
We had these shoes that were Alf character shoes, little Velcro tennis shoes for the kids, and it had his whole bio in the top of the shoe box,
That's cool.
and he's pretty awesome.
That is cool. Yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah,
You know,
That needs a sequel.
I had a
he liked eating cats.
I don't know if consider it a midlife crisis because I'm not midway through my life, but I decided I wanted some Air Jordans.
Oh yeah.
That didn't work out.
I'm a sneakerhead. I like sneakers.
Yeah.
I like shoes, not just sneakers, but I like shoes in general. I have probably 40 pairs of Converse, Chuck Taylors. Skip's probably got twice that. I like shoes. I think they're cool, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give me some Jordans, and so I order them. I'm so excited. They come in, and I'm like making a big production about it. Everybody look at my look. I'm fixing to open the box. They're here at the office, and then they're like size 8 women's Jordans, not the same color.
It
It was
was
just-
the worst box reveal video ever.
God, I was so upset. I never got them.
Yeah,
They didn't have my size and the ones I wanted in what I wanted to spend for them.
for sure. Yeah.
So
Man, that was a good one. Another move. So like, because you were talking about Matt Damon, movie that needs a sequel is Good Will Hunting.
Absolutely.
yeah, Good Will Hunting's a good movie.
It's a good movie, and like Robin Williams, rest in peace. Like Matt Damon's character could come back now and be
Right.
the mentor to another.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Like it writes itself.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
I common knowledge for anybody that knows me, I have a huge celebrity bro crush on a dude named Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Clerks, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Mallrats, that Kevin Smith.
Dog is my favorite.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
So he just, speaking of reboots, he just completely redid Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's called Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, and it's a movie about reboots.
Huh.
So anyway, it's kind of like the snake eating its own tail. But the whole Good Will Hunting thing, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's careers would have never taken
yeah.
off had it not been for him, because
Right.
he is the one that took the script to Miramax at the time to get that movie made.
Huh.
And it is an excellent movie.
Oh,
It's in my top
fantastic.
10.
Yes, fantastic movie, no doubt. Needs a sequel. The Goonies needs a sequel.
Josh never seen the Goonies.
I gotta watch it.
Dude,
I gotta. I just.
it's been 3 months now. You still haven't watched
Well,
the
here's the
Goonies.
thing. It's not like a decision that I made to not watch it. I just haven't watched it.
It's in like the $5 rack at Walmart, man.
I don't have a DVD player.
I'm going to stand up and do the truffle shuffle.
Yeah. And the
I know
guy
what that
Podland
is.
would be so mad that they couldn't see video
Yes.
right now.
I
We're
know
not
what that
videoing
is.
tonight. It's not a video podcast.
I tell you a movie that I really liked that didn't have a sequel was Wanted. You know, with Angelina Jolie
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
and where they're the assassins.
Yep.
That'd
that was
be
a good
great
movie.
one.
That
You
was
know
a
they're
good
doing a
movie.
sequel to Zombieland, right?
I
I've
did
heard
see
that.
that. I
That's
did
gonna
see
be
that.
good.
You know, big news dropped yesterday.
What's that?
They're redoing Die Hard with a younger version of John McClane.
I'm okay with that. So it's like pre that, like he's in
I
New
think
York as
so.
a policeman.
I think so.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know.
It's hard to mess with Die Hard.
I don't know. Like
I mean,
the Rambo sequels, at least, are still Stallone,
Yeah,
right? So like, I want to see the new Rambo coming out.
right.
Like Rambo's now at home and they're coming after him.
Yeah.
Like that. He's old man. That's cool.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. but,
Terrorists
like-
jumping in the nursing home to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you trying to go younger and like lose like
I don't know that I consider that kind of a prequel.
yeah
And-
yeah
So
yeah.
wait,
And George Lucas kind of killed me on prequels. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
so was First Blood? Would that be the sequel?
it would
Yeah. I liked First Blood.
yeah.
I like First Blood. You know, a lot of times, so like, I love Will Ferrell movies. I love
Yes.
that type of comedy. And so many times, like, people are very underwhelmed by sequels like Anchorman 2
Yeah.
or what was the one we went and watched?
Holmes and Watson.
Holmes and Watson, and
It was
things like
everything I expected it to be.
So, it's the thing is what happens is these movies, they've set your level of. They've set the first movie like you think the first time you watched Talladega Nights, right?
Great
it
movie.
Blew your mind. Like, this is so funny. Well, if they redid that, it'd be the exact same quality.
Right.
It's just you know what to expect.
Yep.
You know. Speaking of sequels, we definitely need. I could handle some more Ricky Bobby.
Oh,
That would
yeah.
be great. But what happens
Shake and
is
bake, dude.
is people, you have like this level of expectation to like make you laugh. It's just as funny. It's just
Yep.
you know what to expect.
Yep.
And so that's why people, I feel like they don't like some of the sequels as much.
That's why some of them do get like Step Brothers is that way. It's like
Yeah.
I think it would be a great to have a sequel, but I think movies like Anchorman 2 scare people like Will Ferrell. He's like, I'm not
Right.
gonna do that. Like,
I loved Anchorman too.
I did
Yeah.
too, but here's my thing. You put Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly in a movie
I'm watching it.
of any kind,
Yep.
and it's a sequel to all of those movies they made. It's
Yeah.
the same. It's the same story.
yep.
But I will watch that day in, day out. If they announced a movie coming out in Christmas this year with them in it, I'm like on Fandango buying tickets today and planning a trip to the Golden
I just love Will
Corral.
Ferrell, man. Like, you seen the Daddy's Home movies?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like this, like this got a sequel, the Daddy's Home 2. Like, they're hilarious,
Absolutely.
man. Mark Wahlberg is so funny.
there is one Will Ferrell movie that I regret ever watching, and that's called Stranger Than Fiction. It's where he's the IRS agent that's
Haven't seen it.
existing in some kind of book narrative, and it's kind of a serious kind of deal.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
It's weird.
Okay.
It's just super weird.
Huh.
I mean, if it had been Will Ferrell and I hadn't been kind of expecting Will
Yeah,
Ferrell,
yeah.
it might be a cool movie. But I'm out
Oh,
on
this
that
is
one.
so not changing the subject, but we were at the house. Ethan and Brianna were at the house the other night, and so we were talking about funniest movies, and the debate came up: which movie is funnier, Old School or The Hangover?
Hangover. I like
So
Hangover.
I said Hangover, but Old School.
I'm
is-
going
Old
old
School's good.
school.
Old
Old
School's
School
good.
is so underrated.
I feel like I lived old school when I was a Sigma Chi at UNA.
So funny.
I feel like
Man,
I
it's
feel
a
like that
funny
was
movie.
kind of my life.
Yeah,
Did you know there was a sequel to Aladdin? The Return of Jafar.
I did know that.
Yeah.
It
Sucked.
was terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It didn't need. God, if you talk about movies that didn't need sequels,
Mean Girls.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speed.
Bring It On. Oh, Speed.
Speed. Like, what waterhead thought a runaway cruise ship would be cool?
Stupid.
Dumb.
Stupid.
Yeah, that was stupid.
I'm Grease 2.
Grease 2 is horrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
Now it's got this cult following that everybody thinks
here's
Grease
the
2
thing.
is the best.
Grease 2's on the TV. I'm watching it.
Well, yeah.
I'm watching
Sadly
it.
enough, I am too.
I'm watching it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Did you know
it-
there was a Little Mermaid too?
It's hard to beat John Travolta and Olivia
No
Newton-John.
doubt, yeah.
Let me ask you this: Caddyshack 2. What's your thoughts on Caddyshack 2?
It's basically a putt-putt course.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm a purist on that.
Yeah. Dumb and Dumber. Should have just stuck with the first
Yeah,
one.
should have stopped.
Absolutely.
And that
Should have stopped.
that one that went straight to DVD with different people.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what was
Awful.
happening. That's like
What's up with
we've
that?
got money to make this, and
Yes.
we're going to. Does not necessarily mean you have to make
Terrible.
You know they redid Dirty Dancing, the Havana Nights.
it. Yeah, I'm out.
Stupid.
It
It,
didn't have
sucked.
Swayze. Like,
Sucked.
I'm out. I won't tell you the whole story, but when I was a freshman in college, I watched that VHS tape 7 times one night, and I still couldn't tell you what the movie's about.
What about Son of the Mask?
yeah,
No.
awful.
Stupid. Was that Brendan?
Awful.
Was that Brendan Fraser? Who was the? I don't know.
Jim
It's very
Carrey.
unconfessed.
Jim Carrey was in the original.
No, not the
I
Son
don't
of
know.
the Mask. It was stupid.
I don't know.
He had the dog.
Oh, yeah. I think you. Yeah, I think
Jim
it
Carrey was
pretty
not in it.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you one that set of sequels that I'm on board for that I think are infinitely better than the original movie. The original movie, Ocean's 11,
Yep.
is hard to watch.
See, I loved Ocean's
I mean,
11.
it's good.
I even like the girl one.
No, I'm talking about the one from the late 60s with Frank Sinatra. and all.
no.
That's
okay.
hard to watch.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know about
Haven't
that.
seen
one.
it.
No,
But
yeah, I don't know
now-
about that.
Wasn't alive then.
I'm
Ocean's
20.
11, 12, 13, and even 8.
Yeah.
I'm in all day long.
Yep.
I will watch. If they're on, I'm stopping. If
You
I'm
give me
scrolling,
George
I'm
Clooney
stopping.
and Brad Pitt, and
I'm in.
I'm
Yeah.
in.
Brad Pitt is an amazing actor. I'm
Yes.
gonna tell you, he doesn't because he's a sexy guy. I'm not my opinion, but he is.
He is, yes.
You know, I don't think he gets the credit for how good of an actor he is.
I agree with
He's
you.
an amazing actor.
Yeah. Yeah, forget
Fraternity
his
brother of
looks.
mine too, by the way.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
He is true.
man,
John
I'm
Wayne.
hung up on Who Framed Roger Rabbit redoing that.
Listen,
Let's make it happen. Let's get a petition going on
Was
change.org.
there a sequel to Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
No,
God,
but
I
There
hope
should
not.
be.
no, I don't think there was.
I don't think you can top that. That and like Breakfast Club and some of those movies, I don't think you can touch.
Man, remember Spaceballs?
Yes.
That'd be a good
I
one
love
to do.
I watched
redo a
Blazing Saddles this afternoon. that movie would never get made today.
sequel. Oh, you know a great classic movie, The Princess Bride.
That was
Love
that's
that
classic.
movie.
I liked
No
all of
doubt.
the Monty Python movies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
If you haven't watched any of the Monty Python movies, like watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yep.
It's British. In general, I'm not a fan of British comedy, but those are funny.
There is a
If you're listening, if you're this deep, many episodes into the podcast, you would like Monty Python and
Yeah,
the Holy Grail.
trust
I'm
us.
just going to tell you right now, you'd like it.
and there's a whole series of documentaries on Netflix right now about the Pythons.
Huh. I hadn't seen those. I'm a huge Pythons fan.
Me too.
I've
I
watched
like
them all. I've got a massive poster of the Holy Grail in my house.
Oh, that's cool.
I have I have the Flying Circus box set.
Oh, so good.
They are getting a little deep in the nerdy there for me, but like I
Yeah.
like it. E.T. would be a cool movie to remake
It really would.
with today's
Did you know
technology.
that the ET video game is what killed Atari?
From NES. So NES came out with.
Well, no. They required this guy to do
That kind of close to something you have, isn't it?
yeah to do a to produce the ET video game for Atari in like 5 weeks,
Oh my gosh.
and it was panned as basically the worst video game ever, and it
I
was
watched
the beginning
a
of
show
the
on that.
Yeah.
And the landfill with all.
Yeah, the
and
landfill, yeah.
and they had that's where they dumped them, and
Yes.
they had to they were trying to find one.
yeah. It's on Amazon Prime. Go
I
watch
watched
that. Go watch the other one.
This guy's his whole hunt is to find
Yes.
and eat that ET video
Yes.
game.
Great documentary.
Huh.
Go back and watch that. Go back and there's another one on Amazon Prime too called Atari Easy to Play, Hard to Master, and it's about the whole history of Atari. If you're a video game geek,
But you would,
Start with
Adam,
that.
you would really like that documentary. I wish I knew the name of it, but it's kind of like the guys up on Oak Island.
Yep.
But this dude's looking for this ET video because they boxed them all up and took them to the dump.
yeah,
And there's not one, and
Here's
he
the
was
deal.
going looking for it. And
they
like,
produced more of these cartridges than game system existed, and they didn't think that was a bad idea.
and so the whole show is him trying to find one, and like they're excavating an old dump and all kinds. It's really interesting.
It's called Atari Game Over.
It's really good.
Like it's like why couldn't they find it? Like if they know exactly where they dumped them and.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
they
it
never
was kind
found
of a secret operation.
Okay.
So this historian goes back and triangulates pictures from the newspaper and different things to find out exactly where in the landfill in Alamogordo, New Mexico it is, which is near Area 51, by the way.
Hey, whatever happened with that?
What?
Did they storm it yet?
That's September 20th,
September 20th.
when everybody dies.
Yeah. No, that's when the government decided to have us start fighting over chicken sandwiches
Yeah.
to take our attention off of the raid.
And for the record, I'm still pro Chick-fil-A.
Have you had a
sure.
Popeyes chicken sandwich?
I'm not a blasphemer, Josh.
No, you
Yeah.
you can't say it's better.
Yes, I
without
can.
trying the
No,
other.
No, I can.
No, you can't.
I tried, and I was one of the people that waited in the line until I got up to the menu, and they had the sign up, "Sorry, sold out." And
Listen,
I did everything
I
but
love
give them the
Popeyes
finger and
fried
pulled off
chicken.
and went straight back to Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A
and
has
repented.
never run out of
No.
chicken sandwiches. I'm just throwing that out there.
well, here's the thing. I love Popeyes. I love their French fries are good. Their chicken's good. But I'm gonna tell you something. Their chicken tenders are the best chicken tenders you'll ever eat.
We're not talking about chicken tenders. We're talking about chicken
Okay,
sandwiches.
the Popeyes chicken sandwich is amazing, and I like Chick-fil-A sandwiches, but I just think they're okay. I mean,
Yeah. I think I put way too much value on the overall eating experience.
Oh yeah.
Like clean,
oh god, yeah.
like good customer service, helpful, like my pleasure.
No,
Yeah.
I get
like,
it.
Have
I
a
get
blessed day.
Yeah, Popeyes is like, what are you here for?
I
Like,
love it.
Let me do you a favor and give you some food that you paid for.
Yeah.
See, it's just been like that recently.
Yeah,
The previous owners, they should go to church with us.
they do. I know them.
And when they were
they're-
there,
it was different.
it was like the
Yep.
Chick-fil-A experience.
Now,
I don't-
I'm not anti Popeyes,
You sound like you are.
but I'm
Like I'm feeling defensive.
like I will eat their shrimp.
The shrimp's so good.
I will eat their chicken, their fried chicken, all day long.
I'm gonna go eat there right
But
now.
like
Red beans and rice.
yeah,
Let's
red
go-
beans and
you
rice,
wanna go
some
right
of the
now?
best in the business.
Yeah, I think
Better
I'll
than
go.
Bojangles. I'll throw that out there.
I'll agree with that.
Have you had the Bojangles pimento cheese?
Pimento cheese, chicken biscuits,
good.
Still
and the
haven't had
pimento and cheese.
That's
Okay,
good.
you get the regular. I've said this before, but it bears repeating. The regular sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Leave the regular cheese on there. Get the pimento cheese added. 69 cents. The best 69 cents you'll ever spend.
I love it.
It's
How
It's
did we
game
get
changer.
talking about this?
I
don't
have
know.
No idea. But welcome to the Guy Pod.
yeah, where we chase rabbits and
I have no idea how we got to where we are.
We went from movies to Atari to dumpsters to chicken sandwiches.
I think it was about documentaries, and then yeah, movies to documentary. I don't know.
Area 51.
Yeah,
Yep.
if you followed us this far,
Squirrel.
hang on, probably gets worse.
Yeah. Don't worry. We got some fake news coming.
We do.
Is it time for
Fake news. We need a theme song. Fake news.
We
fake
do.
news.
Dun dun dun.
Fake news.
Dun dun dun.
All right.
Dun,
For
dun,
those,
dun, 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 dun. What song is that?
I don't know.
What
It's from some TV show.
what TV show is that?
I don't
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun, dun,
I don't know.
dun, dun, dun,
Let's
dun,
look that
dun,
up.
dun.
Okay, so those of you that are new to the Guy Pod or have never made it this far to an episode of the Guy Pod, we have a section called Fake News where we
Fake news.
come up with 3 different news stories, and Josh and Adam have to discern which one is the fake story.
I am
Excuse me while I cough.
I messed up my record.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
I'm-
I can't
I'm
remember
winning.
the exact numbers, but I think y'all are y'all
No, I'm winning.
He's
y'all
ahead of
were
me by one.
not in concert on the last.
We were not.
Well, no, we
one.
split. We split the decision, and it didn't go my way last month.
That is
last,
true.
Last
So I'm winning.
episode.
So we have 3 news stories ripped from the headlines. Don't like Law and Order.
Oh yeah.
It sounded just like that too.
It really did.
I wrote.
Whatever. Okay. Story number 1.
Numero uno.
Okay.
Okay, for what I do is I just read the headlines. Okay, and then Josh and Adam have to decide which ones are real.
All right, let's do this.
Okay.
Number 1. Story number 1. Woman pulls gator from yoga pants during traffic stop.
So like an alligator.
Alligator.
Like a live gator down her britches.
Alligator.
Okay. Is that in Florida?
Man, Punta Gorda, Florida, actually.
Okay.
I'm not going there.
Roll Tide.
Story number 2.
All right.
Man burst into flames at San Francisco porn shop.
God, I want to see a picture of that.
Modern day Sodom and Gomorrah.
And number 3, y'all aren't ready for this. Farts can leak out your mouth if you hold them in.
That sounds like something I would tell my kids.
So number 1, woman pulls gator from yoga pants during traffic stop. Number 2, man burst into flames at San Francisco porn shop. And number 3, farts can leak out through your mouth if you hold them in.
All right. So, like, spontaneous combustion is a real thing. Like, I don't understand it. I don't know, like, the science, but, like,
Well, he could have been like trying to light up some meth or something up. Here's
Yeah.
the thing: farts cannot come out your mouth if you hold them in.
see, I think I'm trying to, like, track, like the human body, and I agree with you. I don't see how.
A fart can't come out your because it comes from your intestine and all
But-
that.
I mean, like,
That's all
food-
connected. You do
food-
realize it's
food-
important for me to
It's
know
several-
that you know that's all
It's
connected.
several miles away from each other, though. I mean, in your intestines, like 6 miles long.
No,
No, it's like 2 or 3
it's like
miles.
18 feet.
No.
No.
One of the intestines is like
It's like 18 feet. Google that stuff before you.
I see.
18 miles.
that might, I don't know. Florida, we've talked about Florida before, and I feel like the gator from the
23
yoga
feet.
pants.
28 feet total.
Well,
That's
that's
a long time.
Yeah,
It's a long way.
it's not miles, Josh.
I feel like there might be some crazy meth addict in Florida that would have a gator in her.
I have a
yoga
baby
pants.
gator in her
Yeah.
in her pants. I'm out on the fart out of your mouth. That's just not real. That's just a burp. You can burp.
Is that the same thing?
I don't think that. I think there's like valves in there that it's got to go out your butt.
Listening to Josh Kelly explain the internal workings of the digestive system is probably the greatest thing I've heard today.
Don't act like y'all aren't envisioning little flaps in there. I'm out on farts out your mouth.
All right, I agree. I'm out.
So like the
on-
man bursting into flames in the San Francisco porn shop is oddly specific, but like he could have been trying to like light something on fire and caught himself on fire.
Right.
I don't think he's just like flame on, and and
Could have been a lot of friction.
His vape blew up in his pants.
yeah, I mean something like
know,
that could have
something
happened.
Yeah.
How about I heard somebody call somebody that had a vape a douche flute the other day. It was amazing.
So, timeout from news. I want to test a joke on you guys that I'm thinking about using in the next open mic.
All right, let's do it.
He called it a
That has to
douche
do with
flute.
vapes.
Okay, he said douche flute.
Okay, so I haven't got this all fleshed out yet, but on my way out to the British Car Show yesterday, I passed several vape lounges.
Okay.
So I want to craft a joke that has something to do with the fact that there's a club for everyone. And if you don't believe that, there are clubs all over the place where you can go to pretend to smoke.
That's pretty good.
It's true.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, resume.
I mean, it's not like laugh out loud funny, but
Yeah.
I mean, if it was set up right,
but if I flesh it out right, that's
Yeah.
the premise.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, farts out your mouth cannot happen.
I'm out. So I mean,
I mean,
people
it
in
probably can,
but people in Florida are crazy.
I think
And
yeah.
she
I mean,
very well could have had a gator in her yoga pants.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have happened.
She's trying to steal a gator.
She's trying to take it out of the country,
yeah,
take it out of the state. She could have it
Yeah.
down in her pants, especially if it's a little baby one.
Yeah.
The man burst into flames in San Francisco porn shop could 100% happen too.
Yeah. And it's the most like out there story, and typically
Can you
Skip
can you
doesn't
read
go
us
with-
some of the for
Of which one?
of the gator pants and the man burst into flames?
Gator pants. Officials say a Florida woman who pulled a small alligator from her yoga pants during a traffic stop and illegally possessed numerous other wild animals has been sentenced to probation after pleading guilty to 4 charges.
That's true. That's true. 100%.
All right, read us the other one. The man burst into flames.
This is out of San Francisco. A man was hospitalized Wednesday evening with life-threatening third-degree burns after somehow catching fire inside a San Francisco porn store.
I'm going fart. Yeah. I stick with it.
No, so are we picking? We're picking which one's true.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the true one. I thought
Yeah.
we picked the fake one.
No.
No, you picked the true one.
No.
All
there's
right,
one.
Gator-
It's been a
Gator-
couple of weeks.
Gator from yoga pants. That's true.
I mean, I
People
think,
like get to have a thing about like exotic animals
know,
and like
and
owning
that's-
like. I can totally see this lady
that's.
having.
I
Like,
mean, that's a real thing.
that
could
doesn't
happen.
seem out there to me.
And the guy could definitely be bursting the flame. I mean, I'm going to go gator pants.
Yep, gator pants.
Gator pants?
Yeah.
We're saying gator pants is true.
Yes.
Farts can leak out through your mouth if you hold them in.
See,
What happens when you hold in a fart? According to new research, it could be exhaled through your breath. Claire Collins is professor in nutrition and dietetics at the University of Newcastle in Australia. Her research examines nutrition and dietary intake and how this relates to changes in diet quality, food patterns, weight, and health across all ages and stages of life, particularly using technology. Trying to hold it in leads to a buildup of pressure and major discomfort. Research is not clear on whether the rise in pressure in your rectum increases your chance of developing a condition called diverticulitis, which small pouches develop in the gut lining and become inflamed, or whether it doesn't matter at all. So what should you do if the urge to pass gas arises? The next time you feel a large volume of intestinal gas getting ready to do what it does, try to move to a more convenient location. Collins writes, whether you make it there or not, the best thing for your digestive health is just to let it go.
Listen, you can't fart out your mouth. That's a made-up college in Australia.
This week has a twist. every story was true.
I was torn between gator pants and
Every
man.
story was true.
So we won though.
You won, but there were three so stupid stories in the news this week.
Nice.
I had to
Here's the thing,
I had
though.
to share all of them.
I have friends that are doctors, and they could write an article and say, "You can grow an apricot in your right ear."
There actually is a
And
link to the
that's not real.
peer-reviewed journal, and it's true research.
But so like what I don't understand, like, so if you hold in a burp, does it become a fart? Just like you hold in a fart and it
Quite
becomes
possibly.
a burp. Like,
that
Now,
might,
here-
it's
here's
the same thing.
that,
a
might,
fart-
that might be a indicatory study to
Here's
to
the
be
thing: a fart comes out your butt, goes through the
But it's
anus,
gas escaping your body.
rear end. A burp
Is
is
gas
gas coming out
escaping?
your mouth.
Well, I'm just saying,
So
if you,
if
if
I
you
think
hold
it
it in, it's
changes.
coming out somewhere.
I stick to my saying that that's not a fart if it comes out your mouth.
It's a burp.
All three are true. Then woman pulls gator from yoga pants during traffic stop. Florida prosecutors say a Charlotte County Sheriff's deputy stopped a pickup truck in May after it ran a stop sign. The driver, 22-year-old Michael Clemens, told the deputy that he and 24-year-old passenger Ariel Machanle Choir were collecting frogs and snakes under an
Her name's
overpass.
Areola.
Ariel Machanle Choir.
Ariel. I said Areola. That's cool.
He gave the deputy permission to search bags in the truck.
Missed opportunity with our kids.
Yes.
When the deputy found 41 three-striped turtles in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles backpack
Oh, that's excellent.
and asked if Mashawn LaQuire had anything else, she pulled the 1-foot gator from her yoga pants.
I just could imagine the little. I used to own an alligator. True story. Then it got too big. I got scared to feed it and stuff, and I traded it for a Mac 10 pistol. True story.
And then man burst into flames at San Francisco porno shop. The fire occurred at the Golden Gate Adult Superstore at 99 6th Street near the intersection with Mission Street in the city's south of Market neighborhood around 6:20 p.m. Police officers across the street from the porn shop saw a man run out the front door engulfed in flames. SFPD Lieutenant Kevin McNaughton said. Some firefighters who happened to be about a block away at the time were immediately summoned and extinguished the flames. Arson investigators said it was not exactly clear how the man caught fire. Police indicated he had apparently been watching videos in a private booth in the adult arcade when the fire ignited. The man whose name has not been released was being treated at St. Francis Memorial Hospital for severe burns over 90% of his body. Cole Wagner, if you're out there listening to this, or Selena, if you have any additional information to throw into the fray on the man bursting into flames at the San Francisco porn shop, please feel free to send that to the Guy Pod.
I kind of feel like that's probably not like big news. That's probably normal news in San Francisco.
Have I told you about the time I caught my taint on fire?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay. Have I said it on the Guy Pod?
Yes, you
I
have.
think so.
Okay.
We have.
Okay.
That was
So,
the
like-
that was the first time we ever talked about taint
Okay.
on the Guy Pod.
So last, because I'm not like an expert here, right? Like, you said he was at an adult arcade. So they have like video games arcade.
I don't think it's games. I think it's like where you go put money in a slot and see dirty movies.
Oh,
And he
okay.
was like in some kind of booth by
I got
himself.
you. Okay.
So my friction
seen
theory
movies.
is probably not too far
No,
off.
yeah.
I've seen I've seen movies where there's like these guys go in the booth and put money and the door opens and stuff.
I don't know.
That's more like Peep Show. Like,
Well, like on the Boondock Saints
yeah.
when he goes and kills those
Another good movie that didn't need a.
people. Dude, I love the sequel to the Boondock Saints. It's amazing.
Man, this has been a good episode.
It really has.
I'm proud of
It's
this
been a lot
one.
of fun.
I'm telling you, the Boondock Saints, and you know, Boondock Saints, it never came out in the theaters.
Did it
went,
not?
It went straight to VHS or DVD or whatever it was.
I know I'd never seen it in the theater, but
Listen, if you've never watched the Boondock Saints,
find it,
you
watch
need
it.
to go watch it right now. It's got Daryl in it.
And if you want to be involved in the Guy Pod field trip to the King Drive-In in Russellville, please let us know in the.
Yeah, I'm going
That'd
there.
be cool. We do a Guy Pod takeover of the drive-in.
That would be awesome.
Just watch it do it when it gets cooler.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
too hot. Too hot right
Yeah.
now.
Maybe when Top Gun comes out.
Yes. Oh, let's just go ahead and plan that right
Top
now.
Gun, because they have to have it.
We said it right now, September 8th, 2019, when Top Gun happens. Let's live stream and live tweet it
Yeah.
from the drive-in.
I'm
I
in.
mean,
That's next May sometime, I think.
I'm in.
We're in. We're calling it now. Greg Greenhill, if you're listening, Be prepared for the Guy Pod takeover at the King Drive-In in Russellville, Alabama.
Yep.
Well, guys, that's about it today.
That's all we
I
got.
love it. I love it.
We have had fun. It's been way too long since we've done an episode. Been a couple of weeks, and we're super happy to be back in the studio recording. Thank all of you for joining in today.
And don't forget, follow us on Facebook at The Guy Pod, and also subscribe to us on iTunes, or you can listen to us directly at www.theguypod.com.
That's it. You can always email us at therealguypod@gmail.com. So if you've got any questions or comments or ideas for future episodes, hit us up there, therealguypod@gmail.com. And other than that, that's it for this episode of the Guy Pod. So for Josh Kelly and Skip Nichols, I'm Adam Gooch. And remember,
When you're in over your head,
The first thing to do is close your mouth.